Something that's you. It's not in tune, bud. There you go. Fifth string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sixth string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check your sixth string, please. With the tuner. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, put them down. Front row, first string. 1, sit up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Second string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Third string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth string. 1, 2, except for Glenn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth string. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And sixth string. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, everyone, please fret a G major chord. On a count you, I want to hear one G major chord. Make sure we're in tune. Ready? 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Okay, let's warm up. I'm gonna get warmed up.
Yeah, of course.
So, this is Mr. George. He's our guest artist. I'm gonna have you all warm up a little bit, and he's gonna talk. Then we'll play Hotel California. Okay?
Yeah.
So let's start with our G major scale. Please don't rush.
You say that.
That's way too fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 1, 2, don't rush. Item, please. Item, please. play an open second string? All right, please don't play your open second string. Ready? F major. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bless you. Good. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right, good. Ascend quarter notes, ascend eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, E chromatic. True or false? You're supposed to use your thumb. All right, only I and M. Ready? Don't rush. E chromatic. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down there. All right, let's see who can hang. Eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and.
Quite a good warm-up. I like it.
Yeah. All right, guys, go put your guitars down, the resting position, strings down. Don't noodle with your guitars, please. Okay, this is Mr. George. Let him take it away. He's going to talk to you all for a little bit before we play Hotel California, okay?
Yeah, great. Hello, everyone, and good morning. Nice to see you all warm up. That was quite the experience there. So, Dr. A and I go 16 years back. We met each other in 2009. We did our undergrad at Towson University. Then we went on to do, with a short break for me, graduate master's degree at University of Denver, where we actually were roommates. So that was a lot of fun in those years.
Roomies.
We were roomies. We had some good times rather. Just a bit of a background. I was born in Silver Spring, Maryland, but I've been living in Denmark. Who knows where Denmark is? Europe.
These kids know.
Where? Okay.
These kids
Before I moved to Denmark, I couldn't point it out on the map, and I felt really bad. But it's central, very northern Europe. It's a tiny little country. Why, you ask? It's because my wife is Danish. My wife is half Greek, half Danish. And I've been living there since 2017, since I graduated from DU in Denver, Colorado. Yeah, so other than, because I studied classical guitar, as you may know, when I moved to Denmark, within 2 months, I joined a band called G&R Tribute. Does anyone know what that would possibly be a tribute to? Guns N' Roses.
Good job,
And I guess it's worth saying that we were actually called G&R Jam. Actually, Guns N' Roses Jam. A jam band, in Denmark, it's really big to play cover music. I don't know why, but it is. I mean, I make almost a living from playing around 24, 25 shows a year with this band. And I mean, when I got the gig, I was on the computer and I saw a little ad at the bottom of the screen, and I clicked on it, and it said, "Are you our next Slash?" I had a picture of Slash. Everyone knows who Slash is, right? Okay, good. And I was like, haha, Does your Slash wear a wig too? And they were like, yes, he does wear a wig. It's okay. This is a serious band. I auditioned for it, and out of I think 20 people who auditioned, I got the gig. I started playing guitar mainly because of Slash. He's one of my big idols, like he is for many, like literally thousands. He's a huge rock icon. So I get to be in this position where I play all over Denmark. We've also played in Sweden and Germany as well. I play all over Denmark, paying tribute to one of my idols. It's surreal to say the least, and it's a lot of fun. So I spent a lot of time doing that in Denmark. I'm also in another band. I'm in a, I don't have a pick on me right now, but I'm in a Danish hard rock metal band called Skarnet. Skarnet means little brat in Danish, or like little up to no good. Doesn't sound that cool in English. It's way cooler in Danish, but little brat. Imagine if like, oh, hey guys, let's go out on Friday night and see the little brat. That sounds really bad. Skarnet sounds way better in Danish. But yeah, we of course we write original music, and it's nice to have the balance, so that keeps me quite busy. I had big achievements with both bands. One being with Skarnet this year, we're playing it in Denmark's one of the biggest rock and metal festivals called Copenhagen. Copenhagen, get it? So
Big one.
yeah, it's pretty big. If you see some of the artists, there's everyone from Dream Theater, Silosis is on there. So I'll have one of these in my pocket.
He's gonna know every band you know.
Yeah, so I teach for a living. Both my wife and I, we're both independent. I mean, I work from home. I teach private guitar lessons.
How many students do you have, George?
I think I have almost 30 private students. Some come every week, some come every 2 weeks, some come every third week. I have an 11-year-old, I have a 71-year-old. I teach all kinds of styles. I teach everything from, I've taught all kinds of Ed Sheeran to Metallica to Guns N' Roses to Bon Jovi to classical music to Beethoven to whatever, anything. And that's how I make my living. And it's a humble yet hard earned living, but I wouldn't trade it for anything these days because I get to be my own boss and everything. I get to play guitar all day. Isn't that fun? Right? So, in addition to playing some songs, we're going to play Hotel California in a second. I'm also going to be talking about how classical guitar technique, because like I said, I studied classical guitar for quite some years, how classical guitar technique translates so much into rock and metal. So, using a footstool, playing to a metronome, playing scales, using correct fingering, because I saw the fingering that you guys are using. And everything, all these types of important things, how that translates into playing Sweet Child of Mine, or going to learn something like Hotel California, for example. The use of a footstool, reading notation, understanding rhythm, all that. So we're going to talk about all that later. But shouldn't we play some Hotel California?
Play some Hotel California.
Yeah.
Get your music out, get your guitar picks.
Does anyone know the key of the song?
Hey, play that for Mr. George.
Was that? Play it one more time. Yes, Rain. One of my biggest influences is Mr. Heafy. So
I'm gonna show you what
yeah, you guys do all the harmony, of course, all the chords. I will be your electric guitar player and playing all the fills and of course the solo later. But how do you guys end it? Do you guys just fade out, or do you do the ba-na-na-na?
They fade out.
They fade out. Yeah, we'll do it together then.
Are you guys ready? Alright, sit up. Please prepare your B minor bar chord. Yeah, we do bar chords.
Let's rock.
Yes. They rule, yeah.
No capo in here.
No.
Those are forbidden. Play the chords. It will really, really help you in the long run. You gotta get premium.
Yeah, I know. I gotta get premium.
I took that dive last year. I'll never go back. It's like 20 a month, man.
Ew, no. no.
But you never see an ad.
I'll deal with the ads.
Ever.
$20 a month. All right, ready? You guys ready?
Not worth it.
Yes.
Here we go. Big chords. They can throw
It was
down,
like
man.
it was like playing with an orchestra.
Yeah, they're all.
I was
Yeah.
like the featured soloist for the orchestra. Wow, well done.
Good job.
You know, that's it's a challenging piece of music only because of these bar chords. And I love the rhythm that you're doing. So the rhythm that you're doing is mainly mimicking the vocals, right? Da 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 da. I don't know exactly what you were doing.
Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Da da da
6.
da. Okay, very nicely done. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was
Never played guitar before this year.
never
Some of
played
you,
guitar
some of you
before
played
this
before,
year.
right?
That's impressive, everyone.
Bar chords, you guys do a really good job with bar chords.
Absolutely.
We drill them, you know.
Yeah, it's one of those things on the guitar that just takes a while, and you might have to go through a bunch of buzzing.
Put your guitars
and-
down. Put your guitars down.
It's okay. I'm used to it, but thank you. You might go through a lot of buzzing and oh, it doesn't sound right or whatever, but one day you're just gonna get it. But you have to go through all the trials and the frustration and all that. But it's sounding rather good. I mean, you guys have good control of them. Do you guys have any questions about what I was playing? Because
No?
your part was
This
way
is
more
one of the most
involved.
talkative classes, and now all of a sudden you're quiet.
It was just like playing the stuff that we heard on there.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I'm just doing the lead role. Of course, there's three guitarists in the group, and they're harmonizing all kinds of things and everything. But I love this song. So when Dr. A said that I was going to play Hotel California, I've been practicing this solo for years.
Yeah.
So it was perfect, and it's one of those iconic guitar solos. But it can only be iconic and epic if it has a solid rhythm section, and you guys are holding it down. So
Maybe talk about that a little bit. The importance of like practicing with a metronome, and you know how like you've been doing that for years. And
Yeah.
Sort of your take on approaching the rhythm and practicing the metronome. 'Cause,
Yeah.
You know, this class. I mean, a lot of you, some of you played guitar before, but how many of you really played with the metronome as much as we have before you started school this year? Right, maybe just a couple. Well, we practice the metronome every day, right?
Yeah.
And you know, you probably haven't noticed this, but every time we play, right now, you know, some of you get off and you hop right back on because we've been drilling and playing with the metronome. So you probably don't notice how much it's helped you. But you know, your work, you know, we have 100 days together. That's a lot of time with the metronome. You guys are already better musicians for it. So if Mr. George wants to talk more about it.
100%. So it reminds me back when I was in my undergrad and master's as well. I loved locking myself in a practice room and just having a metronome on and practicing. It was the best years. I know that sounds kind of funny, but I loved those years of my life. The metronome can easily turn into hard work. I mean, all the students I teach, it's hard. You have to listen. And what I actually say, it's not on for background music. You have to listen to it. Even though it's there, oh yeah, I'm playing to it. No, you're not. You're not listening to it. So understanding what you're listening to. Are you listening to the quarter note, the eighth note, depending on what you're playing? Like you guys were playing ascending quarter, and then descending eighths, right? So understanding how to subdivide and play that like that. I think it's impressive, and I mean the importance of it. Like I said to the other class, I love using analogies, and a lot of my teachers use analogies, so I'll use one here. I think of playing with a metronome kind of like putting a coin in a piggy bank. And what are you saving up for? You are saving up to be a better musician. What does that even mean? What is a better musician? A good musician, it's all about time and feel. And such an important aspect of being a musician is having good time and feel. So every time you sit and play the metronome, if you like Dr. A said, because you're playing 100 days, all of the metronome, wow, you are really going to improve. And every time you do that, you put a coin in that little piggy bank. You're saving up for that future for you to be a great musician with that eternal time. The more that you use the metronome, the more that you internalize it. It kind of stays with you. And like, if you get off of it as well, it's a great skill to be able to get back on again and not think, okay, I should just wait, sit my turn out or whatever. It's kind of like a train that keeps going. And so if you get off of it, you have to find that moment where you can get back on it again.
You guys are already doing that. You don't realize it when we practice first day of spring or Giant in the Woods. Some of you miss a note and you have to stop, then you get right back on. Have you noticed that? and then you probably haven't really put it together, but your time with the metronome and all the work we've done together, like it's bettered you as musicians.
It's so crucial, and if you don't understand it now, you will one day. If you continue playing the guitar, that foundation you are building with using a metronome is really going to grow and really make you shine as a musician.
So your piggy banks are getting full right now.
That's right. That's right. I mean, like I always say, like when I pick up the metronome, pretend this is a metronome. I say metronome, friend or foe. All right, but it is your friend. And I know it can. There's a big difference between playing and practicing the guitar. When you use the metronome, you are definitely practicing. Of course, you can definitely play with one on as well, but it's something that is so vital to become a better musician. I mean, I definitely understood that when I was in school, when we had the same classes. This guy used to put on these exercises with loudspeaker like this, with a metronome just blaring, and we had to play these exercises, and he would just point at one of us and say, "Play." Play something.
It was
right?
quite nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
I think
it
you all
was.
play together.
But he had a point, and his point was understand how to play to a metronome, how to subdivide, how to play quarter, eighth, 16th, dotted quarter, dotted eighth, whatever, mix them all together. That's one of the big takeaways, definitely, of studying classical guitar, is the use of a metronome. Another big one, which you all have too, is footstool. So no matter what kind of music you play, when you're playing the guitar, you're using a footstool. Why do we use a footstool? No one knows?
Oh, don't all volunteer and answer at once now. Some of you have answers.
I'll say one thing. We use a footstool because it puts our left hand in a much better position in order to fret. Now someone else say something else about it. Yeah, go ahead.
It helps with posture a lot.
100%. Very good. Posture is a big thing. It needs to play the guitar like this. I did it for years. But this is way more. First, it's just better to do it this way. For your posture, you're also developing better habits. There's always a good way and a bad way of doing things, right? Is anyone else? Why do we use a footstool? Yeah. Exactly.
What's another one? I talked about this beginning of the year. What are we trying to avoid? Yeah, yes! Always avoid rushing, but with proper posture, what are we trying to avoid? Injury.
That has to be probably the biggest.
How do you get injured?
Because-
Hey, ask him that.
What's that?
How do you get injured?
You know, it's funny. It's like, how can you get injured playing the guitar? Our teacher, Dr. Leafwood, he went to turn a doorknob, and he ruptured a tendon or something like that. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Just like that, like this. He did this, and it threw his guitar career off course for years or something like that. We're dealing with a lot of tendons right here, and of course you can develop a lot of things like carpal tunnel. There's a lot of other ones with the thumb and all that, all kinds of terrible things that inhibit our playing of the guitar. But one thing is keeping our wrist straight. I say this to all my students too. You should be able to play chords and so on, all these open position chords and bar chords with a straight wrist, and using a footstool definitely helps tremendously with that. And I also tell my students, can you play without? Yeah, sure you can, but you're putting yourself in a position, look, now I have to drop my wrist so much further down if I don't use a footstool. I can still play a bar chord, but after a while, if you keep going, you might not feel it, but you're going to develop an injury. You're going to really injure yourself, and then before you know it, you're not going to be able to play.
Just like with the piggy bank, with the metronome, you have a piggy bank of tension. Enough tension over time, you keep putting coins in the piggy bank, you're going to develop an injury.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Do
and-
something over and over again, you know.
Yeah, it's I think it's one of the biggest things. When a new student of mine sits down and they start playing, I immediately look at their wrist. How their left hand wrist is. Or both hands, but the left hand does a lot of the work, obviously, so does the right. As you know, with playing fingerstyle like you're learning right now. But the left hand has to fret in everything. And if you're fretting multiple places on the instrument, you have to learn how to do it the right way. So use a footstool. Have good technique. if you want to play guitar for an extended period of time, I've been playing since I was 13, and I want to play until like I can't anymore. And if you want to be like that too, have good technique, because that's going to help with your longevity. Yeah.
Questions about those kind of things? Hiram? Hiram's got a question.
When you play like with the strap on, you're standing on the stage. Do you have your guitar that high too?
No, that's a great question. Well, the thing is, when I play a GNR tribute, I have to be like Slash, so I have it kind of low. The thing is, I get low when I play. But why do I get low? I get low because it helps me get straight. Because if I don't, but you know, Slash plays like this. But Slash is Slash. He's a rock icon. He's a rock idol. So he can do it. He's made it like this. But when I get low like this, maybe he does too. If you notice, like he has solos where he's like leaning down like this. It's because look at my wrist. It's straight. It's easier to access. I mean, I play like in the metal band I play in, or the hard rock metal band. I do have my strap slightly higher because I'm allowed to when you play this kind of metal. But I still get in that position where I get low, where I make sure my wrist is straight.
Yeah.
And that's all from studying classical guitar and the classical guitar technique. And putting those two together, I don't think many do that. It's like, if you're a classical musician, you're a classical musician. You don't play any other types. No, that's definitely wrong. Most classical guitarists, at least many that I have met, also play aggressive music like I'm gonna play for you today.
You know, with the proper technique, you know, you can see a lot of people, you know, not play with proper technique like we do, and play really well, you know. But the other thing with this way, they're limited to what they do, right? If you have proper technique, you have like a whole other set of skills and styles that you can play in. Because it doesn't matter if you have perfect technique, you know, and you know you have good hand positioning, you can pretty much play almost any kind of style. Right, but if you're only playing a certain way with the strap really low and your thumb is all jacked up and your wrist is bent, you probably can play really well one thing, then that's all you do. But then if I say, all right, well, play me a G major scale, you'll probably, you know. So we're just looking at being more efficient with what we do.
Does anyone know who Gary Moore is? You probably don't. Gary and then Moore. Look him up. He's passed away now, but an incredible blues guitarist. He uses like 2 fingers to play, 3 fingers. He played at the speed of light. So if you watch him, it doesn't mean you can't be, you know, like if you don't have good technique, doesn't mean you can't be a great guitarist. But it's just people kind of work their way around it. But I think it does separate you from the others to have good technique. Like when I play and I write things and I play the guitar and I stretch out a lot, like I do this a lot. I do all kinds of crazy stretches and like, man, how do you do that? Oh, how do you stretch out? Oh, whatever, like 7 frets. Well, it's because look how straight my wrist is. I'm not straining at all to do this. And I've gotten that just by having good technique. I think it really helps a lot actually.
There's a really good classical guitar player. His name's Javier Yarrow. He said the left hand should be like water. You should be able to bend it and mold it around the neck comfortably to suit and execute anything you want comfortably. That's the best analogy.
Yeah.
So you want to play some?
Yeah, because I play in the Guns N' Roses
Flat, right?
yeah, now we're going to E flat. It's the other one I sent to you. Because I play in a tribute band, I figured I'd play Sweet Child of Mine. Does anyone know that song? Have they heard it before? Have you heard it before? Oh, you've heard it before.
There we go.
It's normally, we play that third to last or second to last, and that's when there's a lot of Guns N' Roses songs that are great, but I think most people know this one. So I'm just going to tune to E flat. We have a lot of time, good. Does anyone have, I know you just started this year, does anyone have like a guitar idol? Like, oh, you must.
Dimebag Darrell.
Dimebag Darrell. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone
You
else?
can do the Dimebag squeals.
I couldn't squeal earlier.
This squeal's better than mine.
Yeah.
I came in from Denmark yesterday. I'm on no excuses. It's not an excuse, but I'm on 2 days of no sleep.
What do we say, guys? No excuses.
And just do better. And Dr. Hayes said, yeah, come give the guitar clinic on the 19th. And I was like, yeah, I can do that. I can do that on the 19th. And then I looked, I was like, that's literally 12 hours after I arrived.
Yeah, he's alright.
Yeah, I'm way more alive in this one, so that's good. So,
Better? I just don't have a seat.
I plan on having multiple guitars for this very reason, just to kind of take
Favorite songs to play.
favorite songs to play. Ooh,
Let's do a question and answer. Think about questions right now you want to ask Mr. George, and we'll do them at the end.
those are so hard to answer. I will try after I play Sweet Child of Mine.
We'll have a good solid 20 question and answer session. All right, ready?
Let's do it.
Think of it right now. Alright, do the game.
standing. And it sounds funny, I never practice it anymore because I've been playing it in a band for 8 years. But there's a lot of, if anyone's interested in learning it at any point, it's not a very difficult song. The story about it is that Slash wrote it as like a joke. It's like he called it the circus riff. He did that was like his circus riff, but Axl apparently was in the other room. He was like, wait a minute, that could be the biggest song ever. We need to write lyrics to that. And it's just all about technique and about touch in that song. It's a lot of fun to play. There's, of course, a really cool guitar solo and everything. Yeah, go ahead.
Is the fast part hammer on, or you just pick everything?
This, I can't sing all it out, but that part,
Yeah.
the run, that's a lot of pick and slide and hammer on and such. But all this, that's your just hammer on, pull off kind of stuff. Yeah. Noodling. Well,
Any
that's
other
basic.
questions about that? No? Some you got a question? No? He was playing with you back here. He was.
I was just pretending I was playing.
Yeah, it's a really fun song to play, honestly, especially in a band. I mean, so you see that I'm moving my head. I can't really help. It's gonna be even worse when I play my original music. It's really fun to feel the music and everything.
So George, since we're talking about playing the metronome and such, so could you play that fast run like half speed for the class?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Fast run. Here it goes. Oh, I can't right now. 1 second.
Okay.
I'll get there. It's a twisty, turny little riff. But the thing is about that, because I always play to a metronome, this and it's important that you're able to play it slow like that.
Yeah, that's all that metronome practice and going slow and not rushing. You know, Mr. George didn't just wake up one day and be able to nail Sweet Child of Mine. 6 hours no sleep.
That
Danish time.
That riff is
Yeah.
hard to single out though. On the spot.
Sorry, George.
Don't be on the spot when I'm playing, because it's a hard riff. But I have to. With my students, I call it the reality check. It's like when you have an entire piece of music that you're able to play, but there's always that one part that is really, really hard, and we tend to kind of like move past it. We're like, yeah, when we get to it, yeah, we'll play it, and then okay, whatever, I'll play it later again. But you need to go right to that part and practice that, and then in order to bring that up to speed with everything else, because I see that a lot. If you're playing Master of Puppets, for example, Master of Puppets. Does anyone know the banner's right there? Okay,
Yeah.
so like this. It's not terribly difficult. The next part's hard. That whole thing. But that part, for one of my students right now, when he gets to that, he can play that just fine, the beginning, but then he gets to the other part, he goes. It's all uneven and everything, but you gotta spend time. I know it's difficult, but you gotta spend time on the riffs that really give you trouble, because you're gonna overcome them. You're gonna get a hang of them, just like that part, this fast part in Sweet Child of Mine.
Yeah, even as a professional musician, you
Yeah.
know, he still has to practice slowly with the metronome, right?
Always.
Remember when we talked about the more time you spend practicing slow with the metronome, the quicker you can play fast, right?
That's right.
Did you want to talk about the solo album?
Yeah, sure.
I know they're going to have questions.
Yeah, I'm going to tune at the same time. So, I have recently recorded a solo album, and it's actually an interesting concept. I think it is. It's literally a concept album based off of the 12 Labors of Hercules. It's literally called the 12 Labors of Hercules. Everyone knows who Hercules is, right? Okay, Hercules was the son of Zeus, but he was half mortal because Zeus was unfaithful to his wife. So Hercules was a son of a mortal, also son of a god. So he had a godlike strength, but he was immortal. There's this story, there's this myth that he had to go through these 12 labors, basically as a form of punishment. The story is that he was hypnotized and he did something horrible, and he had to pay for that thing that he did. I think he did something horrible. So he had to pay by going through these 12 labors, but these 12 labors were meant for him to meet his own demise, basically. They were impossible. He had to kill a lion with impenetrable fur. He had to slay a 9-headed hydra, so every time you cut off one head, 2 appeared. How are you going to kill that thing, right? He had to capture a hind, a sacred deer, basically, that ran at the speed of light. That was so fast. He actually chased it for a whole year. He had to steal 3 apples from a sacred tree that was guarded by a dragon. All these really cool stories. I can go on and on. There's 12 of them. My idea was to create music. It's called program music. I wanted to write music that was that was influenced by this story. So that's what I did. So my big kind of theme for this is overcoming impossible odds. That's what he did in the story. So of course in the music there's a lot of triumph, there's a lot of epic moments, there's a lot of brutal moments, there's beauty in there too, there's sadness, there's fear, there's everything. And I actually drew a parallel to our everyday lives. We all go through our own labors. I had to make it deep like this. So we all go through our own labors, but we overcome them, right? That's what it's all about. It's what makes us stronger on the other side. So I thought, I'm actually in the mixing process. So this is something I haven't really, first of all, performed. I haven't really shown anyone except the producer and mixer and engineer who's helping me, and the first class. Otherwise, nobody has heard it before.
So you're some of the first folks to get to hear Mr. Jordan's music.
Yeah, so I mean, it's going to be available on Spotify and YouTube and all that stuff. I'm releasing it through professional distribution in Denmark, but probably sometime in late May. It's quite a process to write and record music. I did the pre-production, which is basically a rough draft. It took me about 70 hours. And then I did the recording. I think we recorded 60 hours in 1 week. And now we're doing all the mixing and all the really boring stuff. So I will play you. Well, it starts off with a prologue, and the prologue is the start of a Greek myth. And when you listen to it in May, because I know you all will go and listen to it in May when it comes out, the epilogue is the closing of the Greek myth. So the prologue and the epilogue have the same melody, the same harmony. It's really, really cool. At least I think it is. But I will play you the prologue. I won't play it because it's all on acoustic. I actually wrote it on festival guitar. I will play you the prologue and then go into the first labor, which is slaying the Nemean lion. These are all regions of Greece. Second one is slaying the Linarian Hydra. And number 3, don't have time for all of them today. Number 3 is capturing the Cyrenian hind. Yeah.
It is going to be sick.
English, Greek.
Is it Greek?
Yeah, so it's like one line in English, and then the same thing repeated in Greek. And I can speak Greek. My accent's a little Americanized, well, because I grew up in America, of course. So I wasn't able to have that perfect Greek accent, so I had this guy record for me. Now here is the prologue. Is this the class I played? No. Who played Eclipse? That's the other one, okay. I actually wrote the melody and I wrote this entire piece with Dr. A's class in mind. And I actually thought, wow, this is actually really beautiful. I'm not gonna have that. I'm actually gonna keep it myself. But no, it's just I don't think it's a very overly complicated melody, but there's something there's something really really simple about it. So I'm moving around every word, it's all by step. We're going somewhere here. We're going into the first labor. Feel the intensity is growing, right? We're going somewhere. Here we go. wow, that's it's probably heavier than the normal music that you listen to. Probably, but I don't really think of it that way. It's a very personal piece of music. It's all these really nice themes that I've made, and like for example, the labor number 2, slaying the Hydra, right? A 9-headed Hydra. I don't know why. It could be my own imagination, but I feel like there's something about a really wide interval like that. I think of like these big Hydras, especially in the one part. I imagine that he was fighting this big Hydra and cutting one head off, and then all of a sudden another one came out of the water right behind him, and then he cut that head off. So this part, the that again, it's a very personal kind of thing, but that's the imagery I get. And for the lion, it was just a really cool, kind of brutal. Slay. So there's so many titles in the 12 labors that start with slay. So anything that starts with that, I want to make it brutal and heavy. Because there's other ones that are very clean and beautiful and everything, right? Does anyone have any questions about anything that I played or
Questions, Mr. Let's do a
the
question.
myth itself? Yeah, go ahead.
Since there's 12 labors, is that like a really long song?
So yeah, it's a concept album. It's 42 minutes. So there's a prologue, there's an epilogue, and in between, sandwiched in there, are 12 labors. So every track, like you just heard, it kind of, could you understand that there was 3 that I played? Yeah, it's very clear, right? Because it also, well, for a couple of them I did the same key in a row, and I also did the same tempo. But I try to make a clear distinction between all of them, so you should have heard that. Yeah, go ahead.
In the original myth, isn't there like more than 12? It's just that he has to like redo some. Because I think there was like originally like another one. We had like Clint Stable.
Cleaning Stables, yeah, good. Very good. That's number 5. Originally he had to do 10.
And then they just added more.
Yeah, he had to do 10, and they were like, what? He completed them? Give him 2 more. And number 11 is where he has to steal 3 apples from the 3 golden apples from the tree that Hesperides is called. And all of these were basically made by kind of a sick twist. His mother, Hera. Yeah, his mother, Hera, wanted Hercules to go through these. So number 11 was, she was probably thinking, there's no way he can get these 3 apples. It's guarded by a massive dragon. There's no way. Oh, of course he slays the dragon, okay. And then number 12 is capturing Cerberus. That's the 3-headed dog from the gates of... Everyone knows that, right?
Yeah.
So that one's brutal too.
We're all pretty brutal.
Yeah, they are. Go ahead.
It's all written in drop C, right?
All drop C, exactly. And the funny story about it is that this guitar, and hanging out with Dr. A when we were roomies together, it started in that apartment that we had together. The idea of, I had this idea, I wanted to make, because I love orchestral music, what if I made like a metal album that was kind of broken down into different movements, just like a Beethoven or whatever, big piece by Wagner or whatever. And I thought that would be really cool. So we actually hooked up my computer to his TV in the living room, and I was recording out there and stuff. And then it all happened on this guitar. So it's actually really fun to play a clinic like this 10 years later.
Yeah, I bought that guitar out in Colorado. And
Oh, that's awesome.
You moved out there, and then you started writing this album on that guitar.
Yeah. So what were we saying before that? I was saying something
Talking
else.
about tuning.
The tuning. Yeah, so before, I did it actually in standard, just drop D, and then every song, or every movement rather, because a song has vocals, right? So every movement was just, in the same key and in the same tempo as well. And when because everyone, basically, I think I have 8 key changes. But the thing is, I guess you could say the lion is an F minor. Number 2, the Hydra is in C sharp. Yeah, so. But I can tell you about some really quirky ideas I had. Because there's 12 movements, I wanted to do 12 keys. I wanted to do 12 different keys, but I couldn't do it. It was going to be a lot of fun, and I did something else. I didn't tell the other class this, but this is kind of funny. And sometimes it's fun to leave writing music up to chance. And so what I didn't do it for the line because I had the first movement. I was really motivated. I was like, I'm gonna make something that's so brutal, but at the same time really catchy. At least I hope so. When I came to the Hydra, I was like, okay. I took the main word from the title, Hydra. What I did, I found the letter of, so it's H-Y-D-R-A, right? So what number of the alphabet is H? I forget, I have it all on my phone, but 8, exactly.
Come on, man, you know that.
Yeah, not off the top of my head, sorry. But, and then Y, I think it's 23 or 24, 25. And then I had D-R-A, right? And I took those and I wrote what the notes were, because an 8 would be E. So in that case, that's an A flat. And then, so D was E. That's the fourth. And I just did like the fourth fret. So I did that, and that's actually how I wrote the second movement. I arranged the notes. I was like, hey, what key does that make? Oh, it makes C sharp minor. And actually, the first thing I did, I went up. It changes the tonal center, because the tonal center was C sharp, whereas, like, you know, you're a drop D guy, right? You play drop D a lot or no?
Drop C.
Drop C, very cool. So normally, like, a lot of songs are with C as the center, but now C assumed an entirely different role. So I had this riff. Totally different. Suddenly that open string is like, what? It's so cool. So anyway, some really nerdy stuff. I'm all about the nerdy stuff.
You guys have any final questions
yes.
for Mr. George before we pack up? Glenn has a question. What's up, Glenn?
Go ahead.
Can you play Felicia?
I can't play anything like Felicia.
Can you play Tornado of Souls?
Oh, which one?
Pick a song you know you can play.
Can you play the solo?
Nope. Listen, Marty Friedman is from another galaxy.
It's true.
He's from another galaxy, and like, I can tell you this, I can learn it if I wanted to.
Slowly.
Yeah, slowly.
Metronome.
I've always been a Metallica guy. More so than Megadeth. I like Megadeth though. I think Marty Friedman is a freak of nature. But I can't play Tornado of Souls. And Polyphia, as cool as they are, I get very tired of listening. Not to take anything away from big Polyphia fans here. But they're a very modern way of playing the guitar, nylon string with all these harmonics and all these things to do and everything. I just get kind of, my ears get exhausted from listening to them. Although they are drop dead incredible musicians. Incredible. I'm not taking anything away from them. But I have a lot of people that come to the lesson, they're like, I want to learn how to play Playing God.
Goat. Yeah.
And I'm like, we can do that. And I've done like the opening 8 bars.
I can play.
You guys, yeah. And I'm sure they are inspiring a big generation of guitarists right now. But I was inspired by Slash and Aerosmith and Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix and all that, and kind of shapes you into the guitarist you become later. But they're a cool band though. There's no doubt about that.
Well, we thank you for coming here, Mr. George. One sec. So, guys, remember next Thursday we're doing a playing test, scales, and your concert music. That's your end of the year jury. Okay, as a class. If you need help, come to One Time. Okay. Concert is May 8th. That's a Thursday. Okay. Let's give Mr. George a round of applause. Recess outside today. When you click, come on, all my books stacked neatly, blocks underneath every chair. Okay, move quickly, clean up the room, make it look nice. What is your favorite?
It really depends. I mean, I have favorite songs with various artists, like Metallica or Guns N' Roses. Like, I love the song called "Strange" by Guns N' Roses.
out. Yes. Both blocks out.
It's hard to be like, this is my favorite song. I think metal might take a prize. Metal and but it's inspired. Like a lot of the stuff that I've written is all inspired by Pastor.
Back up, Logan.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Now make sure books are neatly stacked. Neatly stacked. Blocks underneath all my chairs for ensemble, guys.